Once upon a time there was a little blonde-haired girl who was driving a car with her best friend inside. The blonde came up with the great idea to go exploring into areas they had never been to. Unsuspecting and carelessly reading an X-Men single she had just bought, the best friend went on reading without watching where her friend was taking her. Apparently, the blonde had no idea where she was going and soon discovered that there was no longer any road but a dirt path instead. Afraid that she would get in trouble for being back in the area that she was, the blonde-haired girl found a spot big enough to turn around. Now the best friend finished her book and looked up to see that they were in the middle of nowhere and that it is raining and there are abandoned car parts littering the muddy ground. She quickly locks the door for fear that a hillbilly with a shotgun is going to come out of the woods and hurt her. The blonde sighs and tries to turn the car around. The wheels spin. The car is stuck. Apparently they had hit a mud bank and the car had sunk in it. Her crappy '94 Saturn only had front-wheel drive, so they were screwed. The best friend got out of the car and started to push. Her feet slid in the mud and the tires were kicking up globs of the brown stuff, covering her and the car itself with it. Eventually she got dizzy from the fumes because the engine was overheating from excessive use. The blonde switched places and entrusted her friend with the gas pedal and brake if necessary. The blonde tried to push and soon she was covered with mud as well. This went on for a while until the blonde started grabbing sticks and shoving them under the tire and using them as shovels to try to dig the tires out. After about an hour or more, the car was starting to rock and the wheels were starting to move a bit. With one last final shove of her friend, the blonde managed to get the car to roll back out of the ditch the tires were stuck in. The two friends cheered and laughed as they went over to the small lake that smelled of sewage to wash their muddy hands off. Joyfully, they got back in the car, ready to get out of there, but that joy was short-lived. The car was stuck again. After another 10 minutes or more, they finally managed to dislodge the car again, and they were off. Laughing and talking the entire way, the two were finally out of the muddy danger they had thrown themselves into.